Hello everyone, I am Mike Kruger from Weather NorCal. This is another edition of Turtle Bay's Wonderful World of Animals. Today we've got a special guest, two special guests. We've got Delaney from Turtle Bay and we've got Kalkadoon. Interesting name. So first of all, tell us a little bit about Kalkadoon. What are we looking at here?
Yeah, so Kalkadoon is a spiny-tailed monitor. So if you look closely at that tail, it's got lots of really rough scales with kind of sharp edges. And that's actually a really great adaptation for these guys. They live in the deserts of Australia. So what they'll do is if a predator comes up, they'll go running into a rock crevice, and then all these spines on their tail actually helps to jam them into the crevice and make it really hard for a predator to pull them out.
Wow. So, I mean, and I'm assuming the tail's pretty strong. That, I mean, it could, if they're pulling really hard, it's still going to be pretty strong.
Yeah, especially at this base here, it's going to be really nice and strong. And you can see, if you were trying to push against these spines, that's going to be pretty hard to do.
Wow, that's pretty cool. How do we get the name?
So Kalkadoon is actually named after one of the mountain ranges that these guys are found near in the Australia area.
Okay. Yeah. So Australian. So do you have an Australian accent? Does he have an Australian accent?
You know, I think he would if he could speak. I think he would definitely sound just like an Australian outback man.
So how did we come about acquiring Kalkadoon?
Yeah, so here at Turtle Bay, we mostly focus on our native North American animals. But one of the really cool things is that we have a very similar environment to Australia. And so we do actually have a few different Australian animals. We have a kookaburra, a carpet python, our lorikeet flock. Those guys are all Australian. And it kind of shows how animals can be similar and different in these similar environments.
Okay, so kind of, I'm assuming kind of a deserty, dry.
Yeah, exactly.
That's really exciting to be a part of that, aren't you? So glad that we get to be a deserty, dry area.
Right, I mean, these guys appreciate it.
But I do love the fact that, yes, we now get to, of course, appreciate animals like this to kind of be a part of that. Well, thank you so much, Delaney, and thank you, Kalkadoon, for being such a great. And I'm seeing these little, what are those little things I'm kind of seeing behind the ear right there? What is that?
Yeah, so those are actually his ears, those little holes that you see. So they don't have the external ear flaps the way that we do. He just has a hole going straight back there.
I saw that right before I get here to kind of sign off here. So interesting little fact there as well.
Good observation.
So thank you, thanks again, and we will see you next week on another edition of Turtle Bay's Wonderful World of Animals.